Hello and assalamu alaikum there. Welcome to my channel. In today's video we are going to do the 3D Arabic calligraphy painting along with some subjects using the modeling paste. The modeling paste that I'm using is from the company Bluebird, and you are going to need two pencils and join together with the rubber band or the band that I used in my hair. I've joined these two pencils together with the equal length of the nibs tips. You would need a palette knife of different shapes, and for this work specifically I'm using these two palette knives with these shapes since I want to draw some leaves and the name of Allah, the calligraphy. So today I'm going to first draw the leaves first, and then I'm going to write the name of Allah in the space. Actually, I'm looking forward to draw something that would depict as there is a verse in the Quran in which Allah says that not a leaf falls but Allah knows. So this is going to be the topic of my this painting. And this is the inspiration that I took of this work, and I'm going to first do the drawing of the subject first with the minimalistic amount of the application of the modeling paste in the background, and then I'm going to do the calligraphy work of the 3D calligraphy, Arabic calligraphy work, writing the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Some abstract leaf work I'm going to do, just some branches and the leaves. This is going to be the basic shape of the leaves and the branches. I'm showing some leaves have fallen here and there, and some are about to fall and touch the ground. While here I would write the name of Allah. So for the name of Allah we have Alif. Starting from here, I need to make an angle of 45 degree for the pencil work. Just drawing roughly. If you want it a bit broad, you can do it. We have seven, I think seven, yes, seven nuktas in Alif. The length of Alif is of 7 nuktas. The last nukta is a little bit slanted. Then Lam, it's in this shape. Then another Lam, it's a little bit higher than the previous Lam. And joining the last Lam and Ha, the shape would be something like this. You can make the changes once you get the basic shape. And then there is this Ha of the name of Allah. You can reshape the name accordingly and make it a little bit broad if you want. I'm just reshaping it because I want it a bit broad. So I'm just reshaping the name, and this is how somewhat it would look. So this is the tajdeed. You can also do it with the paints. If you don't want to use the modeling paste over here, no problem. You just do it with the paint, and Jalla Jalaluhu is also will also be written. So this is going to be the basic shape of the name of Allah, and this is where you will just make the shapes of the leaves. Stem and the branches and the leaves. You can also fill up the modeling paste in the Ziploc bag or the plastic, the wrapping plastic, and you can also then apply the modeling paste, making it like a cone of the henna, mehndi cone. You can also apply the modeling paste like that for the finishing touch. But here in this video, I'm just going to use simply the palette knife to give the shapes. All right. So just giving some vague basic shapes of the leaves and some branches emerging. So this is how it would look. Let's get started. So here is my modeling paste and that I would be using for this painting. Okay, make sure that you do not whip it. Otherwise, in the long run, when it modeling paste would be dried, it would uh, make some cracks. So do not just whip it or just use the palette knife over and over with it, and do not try to, like whipping the coffee and stuff. So do not do that. Otherwise, it would leave the bubbles, air bubbles, entrapped in the modeling paste, and in the long run, it would leave the cracks in your painting, in your 3D calligraphy paintings. So you can also use the mehndi comb to give this stem look, but I'm just using simply the palette knife to give some shapes, some rough shapes. The extra you can pick. Some finishing look you need to apply so that it should look neat, nice and neat. And if you would apply a thick modeling paste, then it would ultimately crack. Means after the drying, thick modeling paste would crack. So make sure that you do not apply thick layers. Or if you are applying thick layers, then you should dry. You should first wait to get the previous modeling paste layer getting dried completely, and then you can go for another layer of the modeling paste. Gradually, from step by step, you need to do it, and you need to air dry the modeling paste, and do not rush into the drying process, because if you use the hair dryer or the quick drying process, then it would definitely is going to lead into the cracking of the modeling paste in the long run, and you wouldn't want it, because it would be, the cracking would be transparent and it would be visible. The internal part of the white parts of the modeling paste would be visible when the color is dried, and it won't give a nice and good look on your painting. It would look amateur and not good. So you need to be careful when you are applying the modeling paste, and specifically with the layers. Dry them, air dry them, and keep them in a nice and moist place so that the painting gets dried. Take its time, with the drying process, and finally you will get the nicely dried painting without the cracks. Some basic shapes I'm giving, the stem look. You can also give the finishing touch with the brush, the paint brush. Just give a minimal basic shape. You don't need to be perfect for this. Just go with the flow. But make sure that you make a tip so that it shows that it's a leaf. The basic shape of the leaf you need to make. So you show some stem. Here, like in this area, it was getting a little bit thicker, so I just slided that modeling paste and make it a little bit thinner. It shouldn't be fat. The layer should be very thin. Rest is you don't need to brush, you don't need to worry about the thin branches because you can give that look with the simply the paintbrush. And I'm going to use some metallic shades on this one, and might use gold foil as well because it adds more beauty to your textured painting if you are going for it. It would look really nice. So if you're previously drawing something, it would give you a direction, and you can easily use the palette knife according to the drawing that you have made. Always keep the soiled tissue papers with you so that you make some finishing textured work and pick out the extra paste from your palette knife. Like here I've done this. Some crooked branches, and we have to be a little bit careful the application of it. You can also use a bottle with a nozzle with an opening. You can just fill the modeling paste into it, and then you can use the modeling paste on your paintings. You can also use the baking. There is a baking supply which you can use. You can fill the modeling paste in it, and then you can use it. for the nice, precise, textured work. You don't have to be very perfect when you are doing the textured work, perfect at the drawing things, because just need to give some vague impression of the things that you are giving the textures of. These drawings doesn't have to be perfect, just the impression of it, and that's enough. So don't you push yourself too hard when you are applying the textured paste, because all you need to do is to give just an impression of it. So first I'm going to give textures over here in the branches and the leaves. Then I'm going to do the Arabic calligraphy, because if I would have done the calligraphy first and would have made the textured work later, then it would have come in the way and would have destroyed the calligraphy. So I didn't want it, so I basically chose to do the textured work prior to my calligraphy work. You don't want to smush things up with your fingers, so or the palette knife, because it's a work with the precision and very a lot of care I need to do this work. Not applying thick textures. So I've previously mentioned that it would leave cracks, so I'm being careful. Applying some blob and then I would reshape it. I will also give some finishing touch-ups with the brush, paintbrush. So that it looks nice and neat. You can also make the branches with the find the perfect angle to make your texture will go perfect in the first go. So I have to move a bit here and there. name, calligraphy name. So you need to take some amount of the textured paste, modeling paste, and side of the to the side of your palette knife, and fill in the space of the alphabet that you have already drawn. Fill in this space and pick out from the borders the extra modeling paste that you have applied. Make a thin layer of it, not much overwhelming. As I have mentioned previously, if you will apply a fat layer of the modeling paste, then in the long run it will get cracked and it would destroy your painting. So you need to be a little bit careful. Apply a thin coat of it, remove it from the borders, give a nice shape of the alphabet, the letter, and you can also use brush. If you don't want to use palette knife, you can also use brush for the modeling paste application. It would come very handy and it would be easier for you to apply the modeling paste using the brush than with the palette knife. But if you are good at knife work and handling, then you should go for it. So I'm just cleaning out the extra modeling paste in the border, and I'm trying to give a nice, clean, detailed look of Alif. You can also use a brush with some minimal amount of water on it, very little amount of water, not much, and then you can give some shape. This brush will blend things out and will give a nice shape to the modeling paste, and will fill up the areas where there are some empty spaces left. Now lam, same thing I'm going to do as previously I have drawn it. Just I'm filling up these spaces with the modeling paste using the palette knife. I'm just spreading it out in that shape, and I will apply the thin layer of modeling paste onto it. First apply the modeling paste and then you can do all the cleaning things, making all the details and giving it a shape. So apply some amount of the modeling paste symmetrically, nice and symmetrical, equally distributed everywhere. Since it takes a lot of time in drying, so we can give the shape whatever we want to do. Gave a tip, just a bit of it, felt the need of it. So now I'm doing the brush, the cleaning up work. Taking out the extra modeling paste from the marks, outside of the marks, the calligraphy work, and regaining the shape that I have previously made of the letter of the name. Now with the brush, it's actually more of a sculpting work than the textured work. So you are making a mini sculpt of the calligraphy, the letter, the Arabic word, the name of Allah. Just it should feel like you are sculpting things. Right? So if you are good at it, just do it more often. And trust me, you're going to love it. It's very therapeutic and quite engaging. And it became so easy with the use of the brush. So I roughly applied the textures and then I would clean out the wipe out the extra because I don't want this to be very prominent because it would just hide the beauty of the name of Allah that I have written. So just keeping it nice and minimal. So now that it's completely dried, I would apply the colors. For my paintings, usually what I do is I cover it all up with the black color first, so that it doesn't leave out any um, free spaces with the color of the texture, which is white, because it wouldn't look good if there are certain spaces left with white color. So I need to cover all these spaces, and it also gives a body to the textures. If you have seen my textured Sufi painting video previously, I have posted on my YouTube channel, you would see that I have covered all the areas where I have applied the texture paste with black color. And then I started off with another application of other colors onto this black portal platform. I will let it dry. Once it is dry, then I would work on it. So I'm just covering those areas where I've applied the textures. It gives a boundary, a border to the textured work, and it doesn't leave out the white spaces. So if you apply a metallic shade onto it, it would shine a lot and it would be prominent. So applying all the black color here and there, just a bit diluted with water, and I'm applying it to the areas where I have worked with textures. Okay, now that is completely dried, I will apply the colors. I've used, I am aiming to use turquoise green, mix of everything, yellowish green, emerald green, light blue, along with white and silver. And for the metallic shades, I will use Bluebird's 24K gold and copper color. I'm not finding the copper color right now, but I'm going to use it. So let's just get started. Firstly, I'm going to apply some blue and viridian color, some silver. Want it a bit metallic and nice and shiny. So for that reason, I'm just using all these shades. Let's see what works best for us in this painting. So smudging all these colors, just taking a normal flat brush and smudging all these colors together using copper and silver and sky blue and emerald green and greenish yellow, and mixing all these colors together will give you some new colors. And that is what we are aiming for. And we can also remove the color if it is not looking good or it is not fitting our painting. It's not, if it is not relevant to our painting, so yeah, we would remove that color and we would apply some new color, also using brown, white. You can also give some grayish effect, mixing the black with the white and lighting things up. I didn't clean the brush, if you have noticed. The same brush I'm applying all these colors. I'm also using burnt sienna and yellow ochre to give some earthly tones to the painting as well. Basically, I'm aiming to give the effect of a tree, but here in this portion, since they are touching the ground, so I'm going to use burnt sienna and yellow ochre with copper here in this portion. Now you must have noticed that the thing that I talked about about the black texture application of the black color on the texture paste. You must have noticed the difference that when I'm applying the colors, you can see that they are separated and they are separated with the black border, the black boundary. This is what I was talking about, and this is what I usually do in my textures work, that I make them separate using the black color on the textures. Little bit of water wherever you feel like necessary, you can use. Silver I'm using and copper. I want to give it a metallic touch as well, so not these sharp colors. Here in this area, I would just simply use the sky blue and to show the that this is the portion of the sky, bits of water. Not cleaning the brush, as you must have noticed. Some hints of copper too to show the branches. You can apply different multiple coats once the color is right. Just applied some colors overwhelmingly in these areas, and then I would like tone these color down using white and black. Also using some burnt sienna and yellow ochre as well to show the portions of the branches. And I will blend these colors out. Just a bit of white, silver, and white, the corners. As I mentioned previously, I would just lighten the effects, the intensity of these colors by using white and black, and turn it will give you a nice gray, white, and all the mix of these colors of the background effect. This portion is I'm making the Arabic calligraphy portion a bit radiant, so for that reason I'm applying a white color in a circular motion. Beside that, I'm using copper next to it, blending things out. Here the white is a bit overwhelming, so I just blended it. So now you see that there is a mix of a lot of colors all together, and they are there and they are not there, and their originality, but they are there in their mixed transformation. So I guess I am done with the background. Okay, now that our work is completely dried, I would just use the metallic shades, and we have copper. Copper I'll be using on these branches. Some hints of copper and golden on these branches, and I will again make them prominent using the black color, smudged out black color actually. You can also use the tip of your fingers to apply. So um, you just take some amount of the color on your fingertip, and then you just simply rub it on the surface of the textures. Or you can simply use the brush for this work. I have to make some effects of the branches, and you can also apply gold foil, really nice, and then it will enhance the features of the textured work that you have done. I'm going to use 24K gold, uh, bluebird. Okay, some leaves I'm going to paint golden, whilst other I'll just leave them in their original colors. Just touching some surfaces of the leaves. You can also mix copper and golden together. Okay, for the Allah calligraphy textures work, we will also be applying the gold foil shade. Application of the black colors with the borders. So what you are going to do is you just pick out some black color and smudge it onto your white tissue paper and just make the boundary of it. Make sure that your color doesn't contain water. It should be completely dry. Right now the paint contains a bit amount of water, so it's not giving me the look that I'm looking for, but it's working. Just creating a boundary, a border. For my textures work to be permanent, you can also use black along with Van Dyke brown. But you need to avoid these sharp lines. It won't look good. So you need to avoid these sharp lines. Smudge the color that you have applied in the border to avoid these sharp lines. Is now not now very nice and neat. Same thing I'm going to do on the calligraphy portion. I'll make a boundary, a border with black color, and I will just mask the calligraphy colors with the yellow ochre first. Then I will apply a golden color. Because if initially I would apply the colors, golden color on this color palette, then the shades won't be prominent. The golden shade won't be prominent. So for this reason, I need to first apply the yellow ochre, which is from the family of a golden color. so that the golden color pops out in its original colors. Otherwise, the originality of the color gold will be lost and the textures won't be prominent. So giving a shadow to your textured work would work the best after the application of the metallic shades. It would look great. There's a little color out, so I'm trying to undo this effect. So now for this area, I'm going to use graphic portion. I'm going to use raw sienna. As I mentioned earlier that I need to get a base for the gold foil shade. So to get prominent. So for this reason, I'm going to mask all the areas first with the raw sienna, and I will let it dry, and then I will recoat it with golden color. I will use the Bluebird 24K gold shade and will apply it onto the calligraphy portion. You can also use gold foil. The gold foil that I use is Montmartre's and the leafing glue from the same company, from the same brand. Bit of color is out and I will remove it. There's this first coat of the color that I'm applying. When this will get dry, I will recoat it again. This is the first coat, and I will let this thing dry. Then I will again apply another coat. I want the dense golden color to be shown in this painting, in this work. And for that reason, I would have to wait for the first layer to get dried. Then I will apply the second coat on it. A bit of the color has spilled in the background, and I'll undo it, no problem. I'll just use a clean brush, damped in a bit of water, and I'll just wipe it clean and I'll take out the color. Here too, I'm doing the same thing, covering all these areas where I have applied raw sienna previously. Just waiting for the color to get dry. Then I will again recoat the color. Just a little bit amount of black color again to make a boundary. Here too in this area. Okay, so if since the first layer of the golden color is taking its time to get dry, I'll apply the gold foil. For this, I'm using Montmartre's leafing size glue. I'll just take some of the glue on my brush, not much, and I will apply it to the areas where I want to apply the gold foil. Mm, yes, here. I hope I do not forget it. Some portions where I feel like applying gold foil, I'll just apply some leaf glue and I will just wait for a bit for the leafing glue to get a bit dry. Then these are Montmartre's gold foil that I use. Gold leaf, imitation gold leaf. It has 25 sheets in it. The size is 14 into 14 centimeter, 5.5 into 5.5 in inches. They have written all these instructions. So taking bit fragments of it, the available fragments, I'll just dab it a bit on the surfaces I have applied previously the leafing glue. I previously used it, so I just want to give some highlights. I don't want to make it a lot prominent, just some bits of highlights to the painting with the application of gold foil. Actually, not a fan of gold foil, but since it's very much in and a lot of artists are using gold foil, so this is why it is here. But I'm using the traces of gold foil in my this work. Just leave it there. like this. It will take its time to get settled. Now I don't remember where I put the gold leaf, gold leafing glue. Let me just do this thing side by side. Now we are going to take a flat brush or any other brush that is available. We'll just wipe the extra amount of the gold foil that you have previously applied on the leaves. You can keep them back to your collect these little fragments of the gold foil and can keep them back into the gold foil sheet paper. And this is how we get, this is what we get as a resulting painting. And you see now it's all nice and shiny. This is how it looks under the light, under the lamp. And it's all shiny and nice, and you can see the application of the result of the gold foil as well here in this leaf and in the other parts of the painting that I have applied gold foil. So I hope that you enjoyed the video, and this is the close-up look. You see all these copper and silver, all these shades in this painting that we used. So I hope you like this video. Give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more art videos. Stay blessed.